Hi everyone and welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday, and today I decided to create a Christmas decoration, so I am going to alter this vignette box by Tim Holtz. This is a wooden box with 3 compartments. There is also a handle on one side. You can definitely remove it and place it on another area if you like, depending on how you want to have this standing. It is supposed to be a drawer, but I want it to be standing so that I can use it on my living room at the coffee table and decorate it. Now there are many different ways to decorate such a box, to alter it. I'm going to show you what I did. I usually go and do simple things that you can easily recreate. So what I'm doing here is measuring the inside of the compartment, and I'm just going to grab pattern paper and cut out 3 pieces for the back. For my background paper, I'm using Tim Holtz paper, and I have this pack here which has amazing designs. They are front and back printed, and if you do have the Simon Says stamp card kit, you should be having some of these patterns, some of these designs already. Now I decided to go with this pattern paper for the back of my compartments, and I am going to use the same pattern paper for all 3 of the compartments, but you can definitely switch them up, make it more busy, or introduce more patterns and designs. I'm not going to do that. I want to keep it kind of simple, although you will see at the end it's not going to look simple at all. I also want to keep the outside wooden feel, so I'm not going to cover the outside either, but you can definitely go ahead and do that if you want. Now I'm going to use another pattern paper and cut out strips of paper for the bottom of my compartments, and I'm not going to do the inside sides, only the bottom, so back and bottom. And I'm sticking everything down by using my Nouveau Deluxe glue. Use your matte medium glue. You can cover them if you like. Depends on what techniques you are planning to do. I'm not going to do anything on top of them, so I'm just going to stick them with Nouveau Deluxe glue, and they are going to be just fine. Now here I'm using my bone folder just to make sure that I have a good contact, glue and wood, and they are going to stay nice and put. Absolutely love it. I am going to start decorating now by adding little elements on the inside. Now I'm showing you here what you can do for the sides. You can just cover it up completely, front and back and on the outside. I don't want to do that. I want to see the wood. So now just grab whatever mini elements you have and try to stick them inside the compartments. I do have those snow globes. These are kind of big, so they don't fit this way. If you change the orientation, it's going to fit just fine. However, I have to improvise, so I'm going to use the other snow globe, the one that is not already made, and I will change the base, because if you don't use the base, it's going to fit just fine. So I'm going to create something of my own. I do have a tiny little tree to fit inside, and for the base, I'm trying to be creative here. Instead of its own base, I'm just going to use a piece of cork. And to tell you the truth, it doesn't really matter. I could have just used a scrap piece of cardstock. It's not going to show at all at the end. I will make sure that it doesn't show, because this is not the normal base for my snow globe. But you know, I have to be creative and do whatever I can. I just wanted to use a snow globe no matter what. So I'm covering up the base of the cork, and that's why I said that it's not going to show at all. I'm using volume paste. You can use any modeling paste that you have at home. This is going to give the look and feel of snow, and you can add your trees on top. Then I do have some tiny little sparkling mixes, and these are like snow. They are going to stick where that paste is still wet, and it's going to give some shine and sparkle. Now you can definitely do that with glitter. I tend to avoid glitter. I don't like it at all. So I think that this mix is going to do the job. I'm going to stick that on top And my little snow globe is ready. It's going to fit just fine inside that drawer. And then I need to make sure that you won't be able to see the base. But that's for the next step. Now for now I'm going to add a little bit of thread. I'm just going to tie it around and secure it with my glue gun. A hot glue gun is always handy when I am creating 3D projects like this one. I don't tend to create 3D projects and alter things, but when I do, I have so much fun. Usually I work on flat surfaces like cards or art journals where I don't go dimensional a lot, but when I create things like that, I have so much fun. Now you need to look around in your house for Christmas decorations that you can use and repurpose inside that little miniature vignette. So I have these decorations and I know you can all find some of these around the house. Just separate all the different bits and pieces. Try to decide how you want to stick them down and then with your glue gun create some compositions inside the 3 compartments. So for the bottom one, I'm going to use these branches and I'm also going to use that pine cone and some of those berries, but of course I'm going to separate everything. This way I have more flexibility on how exactly I want to stick them inside the compartment. And there are so many different elements that you can add inside. You can create tiny little books. You can use tiny little ornaments to stick inside. You will see that I'm going to bring in some of my ephemera to add some color. You can definitely use your dies to cut out elements and stick them there. So you can make your own branches if you do have dies that would do the trick. And then of course don't forget, if you do have molds with Christmas designs, you can definitely use those. You just pour some resin or use any clay that you have to create tiny little elements and stick inside. It is such a fun project and it doesn't have to be complicated, or you don't really need to have too many crafting supplies. Just go around your house and find Christmas decorations that fit inside and you will have lots of fun playing. So here up at the top I did add another pine cone. I'm also going to add an ephemera that says 25 and it adds some color. So I do have a little bit of red up at the top. Now keep in mind that I don't have a plan from the beginning. I just put elements as I go. So I just see that I have a gap there. I'm just picking an ephemera. I also play with color and different designs. So I don't really have a plan, but if you are more organized than me, you can definitely grab all the elements, audition them, decide on the composition for each one of the compartments of your floors, and then just put the floors together. My mind doesn't work this way. I just cannot put together from the beginning how it's going to look. So I just stick things there and take it from there. But it really depends on how everyone's mind works. So the way that I see that, I felt that I needed to bring some shine and some gold. So that's why I brought those bells. I have a pack of bells. These are different sizes and I have them for ages. I like to use them on top of tags and gift tags mainly for my Christmas presents. So these are the ones that I'm sticking there. And I even added some golden thread just to add some different texture and again add some sparkle and shine, which is absolutely important for a Christmas decoration. Now this is where I decided to bring in an old C6 die set. This is designed by Tim Holtz in collaboration with C6 and I want to create poinsettias. I remembered that this has tiny poinsettias, so just cut out the dies by using red cardstock. I put one on top of the other. I didn't show you the whole process. It was super easy to create, just some layers of petals, one on top of the other. And then for the center, I did add some golden gems. And now, just because I don't want that to be completely red, it doesn't look so good. I want to somehow add some extra elements on it, so to make it look more interesting. So I'm using white acrylic paint, and with a very stiff brush I'm going to dab some white acrylic paint here and there, as well as on my poinsettias, which is an afterthought, but I was super happy of my decision. I think it looks beautiful, and it kind of brings all the elements together. So I tap not only on the box all around on the corners, but I will also add that on the top handle. And I did it. Oh, here is Ginger, by the way, who was very interested into, he was hearing the sound of tap with my brush, and he was very curious to see what I was doing. There he is, by the way, my little baby. Anyway, cuteness. And after a little break for playing with my cat, I'm back to business. So again, tapping all around the box, on the top, on the corners mainly. Just little details that bring everything together. And then I'm ready to stick the poinsettias flowers inside my box. So again, with my glue gun, I'm just going to stick them there. Now, a few years ago, I did create one of those boxes, but it was way bigger than that, and I did share the video here. I'm going to link it down below because it is just another way to put things together, and it might give you extra ideas on what you can put inside the different compartments. So if you haven't seen that, I think it would be fun. If you like this project, I'm sure you will love that one as well. And you will find the link down below in the description. So here I decided to add a little bit of my gauze, and I did have that from a previous project on my desk, so I thought, why not, let's use those two pieces there. And really for this project I just went to my stash and tried to find things that I haven't used for ages. So here again, this is a pack of Christmas sayings in chipboard pieces. This is by Tim Holtz and I had it for ages. I'm sure this is now discontinued. And now for the most fun part, I'm going to add tiny lights. So I do have these super tiny little lights that you can surely get from your local Christmas decorations store. I am just going to secure it at the back, and the cable is super thin, so even if it goes over some of the shelves, it doesn't really matter, it's not going to show, and it is going to kind of fit nicely with the rest of the design. So you see here I just secured it at the back, and this way I will have access to the battery as well as to the button to turn them off and on. And then I'm just going to go inside. You can definitely secure them with a dab of glue if you want, but the wire was kind of easy to manipulate, and you can place it and it's going to stay exactly where you put it. And you see here I keep it open so I know exactly where the lights are going to fall. I wrap it around so that it doesn't show as it moves from one compartment to another. And I'm super happy how it shows, the light shows on camera. When I was filming I didn't know if it's going to show, but it does, and I think it is super adorable. Now for a finishing touch I need to add a little bit of snow, and I'm using my spatula. I'm going to add the snow at the bottom of each one of those shelves, and for that I'm using modeling paste. This is my volume paste, I use it all the time, and you know already what I'm using probably. I'm being very careful and move slow so that I don't end up making a mess, because by now I'm super happy with how this looks and I don't want to end up with a big mess. And of course at this stage, while the paste is not dry, you can definitely add some glitter if you want. I'm just going to stay away from glitter. I think it looks just fine as it is. Now for the top where that label is, I want to add a little message there, so I decided to go with one of the stickers, and I am going to make it fit, so I'll just chop off a little bit from the sides, and I'm just going to stick it there. It's going to fit just perfectly. And last but not least, I'm going to add my favorite white splatters. It fits this project because it's going to look like snow. I'm going to add them all over the place. I am always happy adding splatters, so I really don't mind. And I think it adds that beautiful finishing touch when all those, let's call them snowflakes, fall on all the different elements. It brings the whole project together. I'm super happy with how that looks. It already decorates my living room as we speak. Here is the back, and you can see that I can easily access the button to turn on and off the lights. Here is a zoomed in video where you can see all the details better. I'm also going to add some still photos at the end of the video. If you like these three-dimensional altered mixed media projects, let me know in the comments below, because I have another idea and maybe I can share it as I create it with you. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.